Hello and welcome to Casting Roles, where a bunch of theater nerds play a little Daggerheart. We're so thankful that you've joined us for the very first episode of our interlude between Arc 1 and Arc 2, where we are exploring the Daggerheart system recently developed by Darrington Press, aligned with Critical Role. But if you like the show, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And you can find all of our content on our YouTube channel, where we upload every Friday. And we've got tons of great content to explore. We're down a Jace this evening, but they will be joining us next week, and we'll find the correct place to work them into our story. And the audience knows what this is titled, but none of you do, because that might give something away.
Normally we know something they don't. They know something we don't.
Yeah. So for at least the first episode, you guys don't know the title of the interlude, but thank you for joining us for that, and we'll go ahead and start the show. Rain pours on the city streets, washing through gutters and eventually into sewers where rats scamper and flee from the rising tides. You'd think that the rain would wash the streets clean, but the dirt remains in the dark places. And on the evening of the third day of rain, the day after the behemoth Foresight first parked itself over the heart of the city, over Memorial Park, you all find yourselves in the mist-shrouded dockyard of the Iron Mount. Here, the sounds of furnaces and factories never cease. While other parts of the city are alive with the sound of music and revelry, here it's the hard work of the normal Illyrian which beats like a heart. Steam from a nearby factory wafts over the scene, the towering aerodrome with its platforms and lifts to convey goods, eternal magical light flickering and hissing in the rain, the bluish electric glow of the air elemental's core of the tower, and walking out of the darkness into these lights, shadowy investigation, a call of murder, before it hits the morning papers and the Sending Stone airwaves, is each of you. Which of you thinks that they would arrive first on the scene?
Probably not going to be me.
I think
I'll go for it.
Yeah, I think it's either me or you. Yeah,
Okay.
Pretty good likelihood.
All right, so Philip, we see a shadowy figure backlit by magical lights, steam rising in front of you in the camera view as you step first into the light. And what would the people see as you approach the scene?
Philip, as per his last name, is a ribbit, which is a frog person. He's adorable. He's young. He's got a nice vest on and trousers, and he's got a notebook and a satchel bag with different ledgers and things in it. He's wearing a scarf.
Nice. All right, hold on. I deeply apologize. For some reason, all of the windows just decided to go wrong, and I thought we lost somebody.
That was my fault because I changed my name.
You changed your name. So, Philip, as you step out of the darkness into the kind of the shadowy, smoky air here at the aerodrome, there's steam rising from nearby factories that's kind of washing over this. And then there's also just the pitter patter of rain. It has been raining it's been raining hard for 3 days, and it's a little bit quieter now, but you probably don't feel terribly uncomfortable in this
The water
atmosphere.
does not bother me at all.
No.
It actually feels pretty good.
Yeah. But you approach the scene, and there's just a couple watchmen standing at like the entrance to the main aerodrome docks, and they see you approaching, and they're like, halt, who goes there?
Hi-ho, Philip J. Ribbit. I'm here from the ministry.
And one of them says, they sent the rivets, the aides coming, I suppose. Which?
Oh no, they sent me instead.
Perfect.
I'm the head clerk. To the aide, to the assistant, associate, junior undersecretary for trade.
Sounds quite important. All right, and you're supposed to be doing what exactly here?
Figuring out if anything is missing, or if this will affect trade in any way. Murder's bad for business.
Great. All right, well, you can probably stay away from the murder scene, but the dock quartermaster, his offices, and he kind of points over his shoulder to a ramshackle little building that's built on the edge of the aerodrome off to the side, and you are free to kind of go and explore that area. They're trying to prevent you from walking towards where the murder actually took place, but if you'd like to try to convince them if that's where you'd like to head, you could try.
Oh, I'm gonna try.
Okay, so you go the opposite direction of where they decide to point you, and they kind of hold up. Hold on, where do you think you're going?
Well, I need to see what I'm dealing with so that when I talk to the dockmaster, it makes sense.
All right. Well, so with that in mind, the first roll of our game.
I am going to spend a hope.
Okay, you spend your hope.
Use and experience the "Aren't I Adorable?" Right.
Oh.
Okay. So you're rolling a presence check, which is I think for you a +0, but you get to add a +2 to the roll with your hope. What does it look like as Philip uses his adorable presence to try to convince someone to let him through?
He just that. I mean, he's a clerk. He is completely innocuous. There's no harm this guy could possibly bring. He's probably going to get icked out by the murder scene and run away anyway. So letting him look at it from a distance, I mean, okay, kid, you want to see a dead body? Go check it out.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll your 2d12 and add +2 to the roll.
Yeah.
That is a 16 with fear.
A 16 with fear. So I get a fear. That is a success. And so both of the individuals kind of look at each other. They say, well, I guess we did warn you that it might not be your place, but no harm, no foul, I suppose. You can't muck it up too much. The man's already dead. And they let you walk up the path towards the dead body. And over the dead body, you see a shadowy figure standing kind of exploring the area. Which of our other friends here would have arrived enough to get to the body first for exploration?
Did you?
It's probably either me or you, right?
Yeah, but we were probably one of these two of you. Yeah.
Okay, I can go if you want.
Okay. So what does Philip see as he approaches the scene of the dead body?
You see very short. They're a Katari, which is like the cat person. In this, he's a tuxedo style cat, so he's black and white. He's got like really smart suspenders and kind of like a little suit. I think Rob, you might have read Lackadaisy back in the day, or watched Lackadaisy. But he looks like it's Mordecai, who is the tuxedo cat. He looks like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's making notes in a notebook, and taking notes of all the scenes and kind of poking around everything.
Yeah, and Ramble, since you're there first investigating, go ahead and make an instinct check for me, please.
Hey, this is so exciting, a roll.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, where's everything on the sheet? And then we take the highest roll.
So you add your 2d12 together, and then you add a plus.
Together.
Yeah, and then you add a +1 to it for your roll. And then you just tell me which of the die is higher, whether your hope or your fear die was higher.
I got a 19 and my fear die was higher.
Ooh, I got another fear. And that is, however, success. So as you are here exploring this, you're probably so locked in that you don't even notice Philip approaching.
Yep.
And so what you see before you, and Philip, you notice this as you come up upon the scene as well, is a large dwarven man, kind of graying in the beard, but it is like well kempt, so it's not like a scraggly mess of a beard. Like this is somebody who wanted to look presentable. He has long hair that's braided down his back. He's splayed at kind of an awkward angle here, like one of his arms is kind of behind his neck in a weird way, like maybe he fell from a place, and his other leg is kind of bent in a strange way as well. But the what killed this man is very clear. There is a puncture wound in his neck that goes all the way through one side of his neck to the other. But it is not a knife wound. It looks like maybe something much thinner. It could be a stiletto blade, but it's definitely not a large knife blade that killed this man. It could be something, not physical as well, but if you're just looking at like physical weapons, you're not sure. And you're not, and with a 19, what you do know is that he fell from the next level up. So the aerodrome is divided into 2 levels. And so there's docks on the first level and then there's docks on the second level, but the second level is a half dock. And it seems like he fell off the half dock onto the lower dock below. And you kind of are noticing that looking up in that space. And Philip, this is what you're seeing, this Katari looking up at this space just at the moment that you walk up to them. And then Rambo, you finally probably look down and see Philip.
I think Philip's like too close to me. He quietly approached too fast, and then I suddenly looked down at him and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I'm sorry.
Hi, Philip J. Ribbit, at your service.
Right, how thematically appropriate.
Are you with the constabulary?
Oh, heavens no. And I tuck my notebook under my arm and reach out my hand to you. Mm-hmm. I'm Ramble. I'm a reporter.
Really? Who for?
Josh, I can't remember the name of the paper.
Oh gosh. Okay. So
I feel like it was something silly, but I don't remember.
It is something really silly. Hold on.
I think it was a Jace original.
Yes, it was a Jace original. Hold on. I can pull it up right here. Let's see. Because I didn't.
Jace Kvothe, because they're good at naming shit.
I did not write it in my notes. I did put it on the character sheet though. You work for the Elven Bread and Circuses, Arts and Living for the Enlightened Anorverian.
Yep. I say all of that to you.
It beats working at Better Home and Gardens.
The Arts and Living? What was that again?
It's Elven Bread and Circuses, the Arts and Living for the Enlightened Anorverian.
Well, I suppose the Art of Living also includes the Art of Death.
Well, it's important to keep all your bases covered.
You ever cover government stuff?
On occasion, I'd use quite a bit more small fry, but it's always open to a story.
Do you pay your sources?
You have a lot of questions for... Who did you say you were with?
I am the top clerk for the aide to the Assistant Associate Junior Undersecretary for Trade.
Well, Philip, let me give you some advice. Don't ask too many questions. And we'll crack open the notebook again and kind of start ignoring you.
Okay. All right. As you're kind of looking around, there's not a lot else here. Ramble, you've been here long enough that you're looking around. There's no other evidence on him. You haven't done the work of like going through his pockets or anything like that yet, but
Sure.
just the physical space. There's no other investigatory elements. So unless you want to rifle through his pockets.
I look at Philip and I'm like, do you mind if I take inventory of this?
Go right ahead. How much blood is there?
So there is quite a bit, but unfortunately, you would know this because the call would have gone out and you would have been tasked to go here. Because of the way that the aerodrome is designed, it's slatted woodwork. And so there's blood on the slats, but unfortunately what happened was that the call went out because blood was raining down from the aerodrome on the street below. And there was enough that it drew the attention of passersby this late at night.
I was just wondering if there would be evidence of exsanguination on the platform above. Maybe we could find where he fell from.
Maybe you can go hop off and do that. I don't do sidekicks.
Is that racist?
I don't know. That's what he did. You hop, don't you? I mean, I don't know. You think someone has never said a cat pun to me? I don't particularly care.
Say anything.
I know. I say the judge. That was my creator.
The global narrator came down.
Yeah, and I was like, listen, bitch.
All right,
Yeah,
so
if you want to go hop up there and check it out, knock yourself out.
I think I'll watch and see what you find rifling through the dead body first.
Okay.
You can watch, at least scoot over some though. You're standing right beside me.
Yeah. Now with your
I scoot behind you.
Perfect. Right over your shoulder. Now with your background, Ramble, you are well versed in the way that people hide things. Because you yourself are accustomed of hiding notes or whatever on your body.
Yes.
So you don't even need to roll for this. And so as you're kind of checking the pockets, one, you find a set of keys. It's an iron ring that has 3 or 4 large keys on it. You think probably to various locations around the aerodrome. Gold or random things in his pockets. You do find a ring in one of his pockets, and it's a very simple kind of just a basic gold band ring, but it does have initials in it. Let's see. Okay, JS and CS. Are kind of like carved on the inside, and just like as like a cursory glance, you can tell that like he wears a ring normally on his left hand, and that he's not wearing it right now, and so this is perhaps a wedding band that he's taken off and put in his pocket.
Nasty.
Which to somebody who like works in with heavy machinery or things like that is probably a safe bet while you're at work, right? Sure. It could also mean that they're taking it off for other reasons, but it's there. And then in the inner pocket of his jacket, you go to look at it and it looks like one of those like fake pockets that's like that they put for stylized purposes or whatever. But as you go to reach in, you can tell that there's a clasp on it that keeps it locked or closed, and you release it and dig in, and inside there is a note, and it's like written in a scrawling handwriting, and it just says 3 days we've talked about this, R. And it's signed with an R, like a flourish, not an R. But it's not. What am I doing?
Rebecca Black.
I'm on the wrong note.
That was the only person I could think of with a start
I'm on the oh no, sorry. It is an R. It's an R and a stylized. Yeah, it's a stylized R and a stylized B.
Rebecca Black. Oh
Rebecca
my
Black.
God.
Yeah.
Rebecca
Friday. Friday.
Oh shit, it is Friday.
Yeah, 3 days we've talked about this. RB, and then
Wait. What was?
it's not Wednesday.
I was gonna ask.
Cool. I like. Yeah,
So
I'll
stupid.
scoot the note back in and I'll redo the clasp.
Cool. And then as you are rifling to kind of put everything back together or whatever, Ronnie, your character is walking up to this, and you see Ramble, who you do not recognize, kind of digging in the pockets and putting things away.
And a little Locatari.
And what does
Okay.
Philip and Ramble see as your character approaches?
You see reporter Quinn Baptiste just strolling up to the scene. You can tell he's a bit disheveled, almost like maybe he's been up all night writing a story or researching something. And this murder here kind of the announcement went out. His tie's a little crooked. He's fixing it and getting his jacket all straight while he's walking up. And as I don't recognize Ramble. Right?
You do not recognize Ramble.
You see a fucking cat in a fancy suit is like going through the pockets on this fucking body.
Yeah.
And a frog is standing directly behind.
Directly behind, just observing.
I'll say Quinn will say to Philip as he walks up, Philip, I'm not surprised to see you here this early. You know, you always get the jump on things. Who's our feline friend here?
Are you his babysitter? I'm like still bringing this.
Oh, look. Cat's not coming to play. Well, I guess I'll introduce myself. I'm Quinn Baptiste. I'm with the Anorvere Ledger. Are you a detective or...
No, they're a writer like you.
Oh, well, we just contaminate crime scenes these days, huh?
You know, to each their own. Get your kicks however you could take them. I'm Ramble, as I'm like going.
Ramble, nice to meet you. Well, I'm with the Anorvere Ledger. Who do you write for?
I write for this really long title that I've forgotten, but my character is saying it perfectly well.
Don't tell me it's the Elven breed.
Brett.
What is
We were
living.
for what? Well, it puts coin on the table.
Yeah, no, I'm not judging. You know, I've written some fluff pieces myself. I know you gotta feed the family one way or the other.
And who do you
Yeah,
write
Nothing
for?
just fluff me like murder.
Well, yeah, it gets the people reading. You know, we need to sell those papers. We find anything interesting here?
Knock yourself out. I wipe. I had put on like gloves for that. I like take off the gloves and stash them, and then I motion for you. And I look like I am writing in my like little notebook again.
Yeah, Quinn, as you approach this, go ahead and make an instinct check for me.
Instinctually, I will check.
And I will say that for you, like your experience plays a heavy role in your ability to observe things. So if you want to spend a hope and use your experience, you may hear No Clue Left Behind.
Gotcha. Let me see. Where'd my hope? Did my hope go away? It was more.
Your hope's right. No, it's right there. You got one hope.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay.
Did my hope go away?
You're spinning the hope. So you're going to add a +2 to this roll.
Okay. So I rolled 2, add them all together. So I got an 11.
Okay.
It's a 13.
Okay, that's a 13.
Does your instincts have anything?
No, he has a
Plus
+0 to instinct.
No, nothing
Yeah.
with instinct, but you said added the +2. And the highest one was the hope.
Oh, okay. So you get that hope back. Cool. But you did not see what Ramble pocketed from the pocket of the body.
I didn't see what it was, but did I see the pocket?
You saw Ramble investigating the body, but Ramble is very good at pocketing things before they're seen. So you didn't see Ramble pull anything away from the body.
Sly cat there, okay. So I guess like piecing the story together, the scene together. So Philip, what are they saying down on the government level? Any
Not much yet. That's why they sent me to find out if it was just like an accident that happened or something personal, or if someone's trying to smuggle something. Because that would break the trade rules.
You think that would be an accident? I like point to his neck.
No. More like, a robbery or domestic violence or something like that has nothing to do with trade. Versus someone's trying to smuggle something or hide something or steal something, in which case that would affect us.
Okay.
That's a concern of the government, huh? Smuggling, stealing, trade issues. Okay, all right. Just making notes here.
You didn't hear it from me. But...
No, of course. Gotta protect our sources, right? And that's kind of wink at Philip and nudge Ramble.
You two are the most blatant people I've ever met in this world.
You gotta have some brevity doing this, Man gets stabbed through the neck, and you gotta be able to go home at night and hug your loved ones,
You want to go see where it happened?
Yeah. Let's check it out.
Okay. So Quinn and
Coming,
Philip.
Ramble?
I will follow you
Perfect.
from a foot away.
Okay. Now, Philip, you would have seen the keys that Ramble carried, but Ramble probably not the letter. If you intended to hide the letter.
I think I left the keys on him.
Okay, so the keys are just laying on top
I didn't
of
take
the
everything.
Yeah.
I think I left the keys.
I'll grab the keys.
I think the note was too juicy to not.
Yeah. So you saw Ramble pull out the keys and set them down. You grab those, and then you guys head up to the second floor of the aerodrome, which gives you a much better view. So the aerodrome's about 200 feet in the air, and the second level is like 250 above, like at the very top, and you can see now. Like looking out on the aerodrome, it's a kind of a quiet day. There's only 5 ships docked here right now, and they're all fairly small, like cargo vessels. None of the larger airships that sometimes dock here. And you kind of walk up to the second level and out to the ledge where you can like look down at the first level, the elevator that goes down to the lower sections that you came up from, the 2 guards standing down there, just kind of standing, and then the dockmaster's quarters down below you. And you are standing below what was there is a light here. It's like one of the ever burning magical lights that light the aerodrome, but it is currently out. And the ground here, or the wood slatted here, you can see that there's evidence of blood at the edge where his body then tumbled over. And then for Quinn and Ramble, with your backgrounds, you see evidence of like scuff marks. Maybe there was some kind of conflict here or struggle from boots of some kind or something scuffing against the wood, and the blood at the edge.
Going through
I look to see if anything's dropped.
Okay, go ahead and without the light present, go ahead and make a instinct check for me, please.
Instinct.
You need some assistance with that there.
No, 15 with hope.
15 with hope. Okay, so you get a hope for the roll, and what you do find, kind of, it would be glinting in the light if it weren't for the fact that there is no light on this section of the aerodrome with the light out. You find a poker chip, kind of it's white and black, checker barked around the edges, and then the painted edge on the outside is golden, and it just has CE, like a fleur-de-lis, like kind of stylized CE in the center, around the interior of the poker chip.
Look what I found.
Yeah, Polka, CE. Do we know what would we know what CE stands for?
You would not necessarily. Let's see. Well, I'll let you roll for it. For you, this would be a knowledge check.
Hey, I'm pretty knowledgeable. Yes.
You see?
Ramble, you know what it is, but I don't
Yep.
know if you would inform the group what it is.
Oh, hell no, I wouldn't.
Mhm.
I'm observing.
20 with hope.
20 with hope, so you gain a hope. And yeah, you're familiar with it, Quinn, probably from a story that you did or something. CE, there's several clubs and several casinos in town. The most kind of backwater one at the edge of the theater district is called Club Eurydice.
CE. Club Eurydice?
Mm-hmm.
How far away is that from here?
Oh, quite a ways. The Iron Mount is probably 2 miles or so from the theater district.
2 miles away.
I want to check out the light to see if it is broken or deliberately unscrewed.
Perfect. So for your kind of background in enough of like trade and things like that, and a little bit of not necessarily magical training, but magical knowledge in your background, Philip. Yeah, you're looking at it. It's the rune that keeps this light going constantly, because of the way the government does it is that they have the runes carved on coins. And then all they have to do is install the light, and then they have a mage come put the coin in and activate it. And so that they just mass market produce these runes. The coin is missing.
Is it the same size as the...
No, they're a little bit larger, but it's a very simple, like, you know, any base level mage knows the spell that causes this to go. It's just like a constantly recursive firebolt cantrip, basically, that is constantly firing into the thing and producing this flame constantly. So it's just this firebolt rune, and it is missing. Yeah.
Someone was trying to make the area dark.
Someone extinguished the light to sort of hide what they were doing.
And it makes it
And
easy
cook
to
it
stab
with them.
a man in the neck.
Throw him over the edge. Get away in the darkness. Was our friend perhaps gambling tonight? Found his way back here, and someone decided to settle a bit of a debt, so to speak.
Do either of you know what he did here?
Well,
Yeah.
he wasn't wearing his ring, so he was either doing some kind of hard work or he was unfaithful.
Or doing some kind of hard work, you know. Maybe
Talk
we can
to the
ask
dock
around.
master?
Figure out.
Okay. So you want to go ask the dockmaster. So as you guys are walking down from the second floor, you see a figure standing over the body. And Carrig, what do they see standing, exploring, like looking at the body below?
So they see a man a goblin in coveralls. And this is a very diminutive figure, like 3 feet high, counting the ears.
You and Quinn might be the same height though, so.
Yeah. And he's dressed like a janitor. Like, does not look like anyone of significance, but definitely green skin, definitely a goblin, definitely wearing blue collar uniform, so to speak.
We approach and just ask who's in charge here. We got a couple questions about this gentleman.
Carrig, you have done enough work around the dockyards that you know that the gentleman before you is Jarl Stonemount. This is the Dockmaster. He's dead.
Oh.
Well, I'm afraid you're gonna have a hard time speaking to the individual in charge, because that's him. It looks like we have the Ledger, the Elven Bread, and the government all out tonight.
And who are you?
My name is Karag Mile. I'm a shoe shiner. It's nice to meet all of you.
Eric, it's a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. We appreciate you cooperating here. So this was the guy in charge?
At one point he was, yes. This was the Dockmaster.
Huh. Do you know if maybe he rubbed anyone the wrong way recently? Any disputes going on down this way?
It's hard not to piss people off when you're the Dockmaster.
Well, that narrows it down for us.
Can I make a roll, Josh, to see what I remember about the rumors?
So the beauty of Daggerheart is it assumes based on your background that there are certain things that you do not know, that you would know, because you don't want to roll constantly, because then you're building up hope and fear like dramatically large. Karag would absolutely know what some of the mess that Jarl Stonemount is in, not personally, but as far as it goes with the work that he does with a few of the shadier groups within Anorvere. And you know for a fact that Jarl was facilitating the transport of black market goods through the aerodrome.
Now, if we're leaving aside just the simple matter of labor disputes, we can arrive at the fact that I know Jarl was using his role as Dockmaster to sneak in many kind of illicit goods through the aerodrome itself, and I can imagine that might have caused his downfall.
Oh.
Philip starts scribbling in his notebook.
You should not. Let me give you some advice. You shouldn't be broadcasting that around. You see, the man who was last involved with that is on the floor in front of us, dead.
Yeah, we appreciate you being so forthcoming, but you don't have
Can
to
you be more specific?
Can I, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, like you're not sure about the ins and outs, but you do know that he was working closely with the rogues, who like they're for people in the underworld and in lower brackets of income, they're seen as like Robin Hood types. But they get a vast majority of their goods and services they do through black market. So they're bringing in things, selling it at a cheaper cost to people at the lower rungs that they've stolen from the rich. So that's kind of their main transport methods. And they do a lot of their work in high wall, and so they're probably bringing things from there to here.
Well, I certainly might know something, but let's see, Mr. Ribbit, it looks like you've got a small scuff on your shoe there. I think I could probably buff that out for you really quick for a small amount of change.
Oh, yes. Okay. How much for the shoe sign?
I'll tell you what, it'll be on the house, but maybe one day I'll ask you a question, and that question will be something you have to tell me.
That seems equitable.
Well, let's look at this here. Yeah, it looks like a little scuff mark, nothing that a little polish can't fix. If I were you, I would look into the rogues. They seem like the kind of people that would be involved in this.
Just realized who your fucking character is, Atwood. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my fucking god. Alright.
Message me if you think you know who it is.
I know who it is.
They put their heads.
It's just a full face palm.
Exactly what it is. A face palm you can only do for your husband.
and I will bring Ribbit up to speed.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
We're also listening, so I don't know if you care about that, but we're also just sitting there.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
Do you have to shine?
loud.
Do you have to shine all our shoes, or is this, we just listen and it's fine?
Oh, I'm sure that I'll buff out a scratch or two from the rest of you at some point later, but for now, it's just Mr. Ribbit who owes me a small little favor.
Well, that works for me perfectly. Great.
Yeah.
I don't see any
But
problem.
y'all are good at ransacking things. Do we want to go look through his office? We have the keys. I assume they're the keys.
That is a great idea. Yeah, let's see if there's any paper trail we can follow.
All right. So
You want to come with us, Garrick?
Oh, I don't see why not.
It's probably a good
Since
idea.
you're
if you
so
just-
knowledgeable.
So, with the keys in hand, it is easy enough to get into the dockmaster's quarters. The two watchmen see you go by, but with your governmental authority, Philip, they are just like, okay, cool. I guess the government's fine with reporters following them around, and the random shoe shiner who showed up. And you enter into the dockmaster's quarters, and it's small. It's a small office. Large windows that overlook the whole aerodrome area, and it is 2 stories, so you could go up to the next floor, so he has a better view of everything. But in here there is a desk, a large desk that's overflowing with papers and ledgers and all kinds of things here. Has several drawers on it. There is not an armoire, but a cabinet with doors against the wall. And then there's a bookshelf with several books, but also like random trinkets and things on it as well that you could dive into for your investigation.
And I start investigating with my no clue left behind.
Sure. So you
just a plus
so you-
2 is an advantage. If I use a hope,
no, you spend a hope, you get a +2 to the roll.
Oh.
And it is that would be a instinct roll.
okay. So I'm just looking for any like.
Are you investigating the desk, the drawer, the cabinet, or the bookshelf?
His work desk, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no. I forgot which. Okay, this one is my hope dice. So a 13 with hope.
13 with hope. Okay, so you get a hope. And with a 13, I'll say that you're not going to be able to discover everything with 13. But you're kind of looking through, you find the ledger at the top. And the first thing that you do notice is that he has kept track of the ships that are going in and out of dock. And so today there's been about a dozen ships that have come in, unloaded, and left. And then the ships that are currently docked are like docked late into the night and are going to be unloaded in the morning before they depart. And you see that in the ledger, he's only made note of 4 ships being docked at the docks. There is, and he has 3 docked at the upper dock and 1 docked on the lower dock. And you know that there are 4 ships docked on the upper dock and 1 on the lower dock. So he has not forced one of the ships to log in. He hasn't made the ledger notes that ship is present there. But that's all you discover with a 13, just kind of going through the elements. The drawers are locked here, and the keys that Philip have do not seem to unlock any of the drawers or the cabinet.
Anyone? Go ahead.
So the ship that isn't in the log, do we think that it arrived after the murder, or was it? We need to find out if it's deliberately not in the book, or it's not in the book because it arrived and they didn't see the dockmaster anywhere, which would give us a time for the murder.
Okay, yeah. And Philip, as a person who deals with trade, you know that like the first thing that a ship does when it docks is that they send a representative of the dockmaster to log in, right, to let register. So if they weren't able to register, then there's somebody waiting either to register or they just never did. And so that would be something to check out. What you do notice here is that the 4 ships, one is transporting goods from a high wall. One is seems to be transporting ore, it says, from the Eldritch Peak area, so the mining area. And the other 2 are bringing up goods from the Souvenir's Key area. So this is probably like maybe fish or something that has to do with the ocean area. But yeah, the other ship isn't present in the markers.
Can I try to pick the lock, Josh?
Yeah, you can absolutely try to pick the lock. That would be that's a finesse check. Are you picking the locks on the cabinet or on the desk?
The desk.
Okay.
And while he's doing that, Josh, I look to see if there's anything missing. Like a set of volumes and one of them is missing, because I'm assuming that, like all people dealing with trade, he's keeping 2 sets of books.
Okay.
The legitimate set of actually what's going on and the one that's for the government.
That's a 12 on the hope dice, Josh.
A 12. So did you add up the 2 die together?
Oh, 13.
You add your
so 13, but then you got a 12 with hope. Absolutely cool. So it's a 12 with hope, and then you get to add let's see, finesse and 0 to that. So 12. Okay, cool. Yeah. And then for you, Philip, if you'd like to roll, you can roll an instinct check to see if there's anything missing there. Yeah, so it's not a hard lock. And so the desk lock clicks, and you now have access to the 3 drawers in the desk. You start to rifle through them.
Karag like looks at everybody around. He's like,
Oh yes, these are the Anorverian 2870s. Now, ordinarily a fine piece of craftsmanship, but the little princeling that was in charge of designing these bad boys didn't realize that a simple shock to the side of the case,
and he just smacks the like back end of it, like the lock pops out a little bit.
Yeah,
is all it requires to open it up.
And the 3 drawers open. So as you get into here, there's a little bit more. There's a few other things that are here. You discover a couple, like a heavy leather like binder that has a clasp on it, but it's not like a tough clasp to just pop. And when you open it, Quinn or Carrig or whoever's doing this, you see like a series of letters that look like they're from debt collectors, maybe. And they say like, you're past due on the loan payments that you took out from us on this date, whatever. Like the next one is, it's come to our attention that the loan is not being paid back because you are like, that your money is going towards, the Club Eurydice. There's like, it becomes very clear to all of you who are good at piecing together information that the Dockmaster has clearly been taking out loans to fund a gambling debt or a gambling habit that has only gotten worse with time.
Well, it looks like he told his debt to take a hike, but it only kept climbing higher.
What? What are you saying?
Very
23 with hope.
But why are you saying that?
And I'll like point to the paperwork.
Yeah.
And this paperwork means
He was in
Our
debt.
friend was in a little trouble here. Yeah, you just gotta.
Oh, right.
Our
Oh,
dockmaster here had liked pretty horses, but they didn't run too well.
So he was gambling is what this would mean all put together.
Yes, he was gambling. I don't know how else I can lay this out for you.
Okay, I need more coffee, and I sit back in his chair, like chilling in this dead man's chair.
Yeah, and with the 23 with hope, Philip, make sure you mark your hope. So you don't notice that anything is out of place, but it's because nothing's out of place that it draws your attention more. Like, he's clearly keeping this space very organized, as it looks disorganized, right? But it's like organized in the way that a dockmaster's should. But he's clearly caught up in some nefarious things. And so there's something out of sight that would answer your information. And with the 23, I'll say, like, you do find, like, as you're just kind of like looking over everything, and with hope, you like put your hand on the desk and you feel something rough on the bottom of the desk, like right where the chair would slide under. And you kind of slide your hand across, and there is a small key taped to the bottom of the desk.
I will pull it out and see if it works on the cabinet.
Yes, it opens up the cabinet. And in the cabinet, you find a book that is labeled like Maritime Laws of the Last Quarter Century, which like seems like a perfectly appropriate book for a dockmaster to have, you suppose. And there's, a random smattering of other texts here as well. But that one catches your attention. And when you pull it out and you open it, it is a ledger book that has a fake binding put on it. And you can see that there is evidence of ships that are coming in that are carrying contraband. And the fifth ship that was not on the main register is written into this one. And it just says Ring of Blades. But it doesn't say like what they're carrying. And in the there's a letter kind of like folded and put in with this letter, and it's from and it's it has like Ring of Blades like with a scrawl across it, and it just says, avoid the watchful eye of the rogues. These goods will fetch a fine penny in the right hands of that if that do-getter Nerida doesn't intercept.
Looks like our friend was double dipping here a little bit.
I will be taking this notebook. Does anybody know who this person is?
I might.
Well, so one, Ramble, you know that the Ring of Blades is like the rogues are, if the rogues are like the do-gooder bad guys, the Ring of Blades are the bad guys. Like, they will rob anybody. They don't care. They're out to make a dime. They don't care who they hurt in the process. And Carrig, you know that Nerida refers to Sorin Nerida, who is the current leader of the rogues in the city of Anorvere. Call back to campaign 1, guys.
I was gonna say somewhere Jace heard Sorin Nerida and like lost their damn.
Yeah, you all sent Sorin Nerida off with the rogues.
We did.
Yep.
We really did. When you say that, I'll say to you, well, if you would make me a copy of that information, I'd be happy to expand upon it for you.
2 copies there. Philip, let's make sure everyone stays in the loop here. More heads working on the problem.
I'm sure you've got nice penmanship.
That is going to take some of my time. And it's going to take supplies.
You can write it here in my notebook.
Yep, I got plenty of pages. You can copy it down in here too. Philip, old buddy, old pal.
Our usual arrangement?
Our usual arrangement. Actually, put it on my tab if you don't mind.
I don't want any
Get
kind
a
of
copy.
arrangement. No, thank you. So you're good to make me a copy, correct?
Eventually. And I start copying into Quinn's notebook right away.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta grease the wheels when it comes to government, just
I have a
professional
faith.
device there for you.
Sit on as long as I please.
As you guys are kind of exploring the, there's a sound like a crackling in the corner, and suddenly the sending stone activates, and you all know like these are new tools in the area. These are like small wooden devices that contain the magical essence of a sending stone within them, and the sound of like trumpets kind of blaring out, and this is like the morning news is beginning its display. Like at this point you guys think you're probably an hour or so from dawn. And the voice of one of the newscasters comes off, and it's like, well, it's another rainy day here in Anorvere. Keep an eye out as you're traveling around in the areas off the Iron Mount. The local parks are being closed down for the speech from the apostates. And she is, Simona Ling is going to be giving a speech, and it's sure to be an interesting one, just in time for that leader from the church, Horatio Algier, to start heading to the Hall of Voices the morning tomorrow morning.
Real self-made man, that Horatio Algier.
The leader of the church is going to be giving his speech at the Hall of Voices tomorrow morning. Hear it live here on your sending stones, and then it kind of goes into like morning sales and things like that. But you've got like. This news is picking up, and there's a little bit of musical interludes or whatever as you've got some of your evidence here before you. But anywhere else would you guys like to explore or to try to find evidence?
Philip's gonna dip out and go up to the guards and tell them that they are to secure the vessel.
The fourth vessel?
The smuggling. That they're smuggling, and under authority of the government, that vessel is to be seized.
Okay. And with your authority and them being relatively low-ranked watchmen, they say, oh, all right. Seems like you've got something important there. And around the time that you're talking to them, you see a couple like medical people walking with the body wrapped, and they're leaving the aerodrome as they finally like cleaned up the body and gathered it for transport to whatever kind of investigatory place that is. And you do see a tall man walking up, and he kind of watches the body goes by, and then he looks up and catches your eye. Well, that's Philip J. Riddibit, isn't it?
Hi-oh.
You probably don't know me. I work for the Risk Breakers, but I've done some work with your boss.
Okay.
My name is Bolton.
We
Coon.
found some. Bolton
It's him!
Oh
It's the guy! He's back!
Oh my god, he's employed. He has.
He never got out of the Risk Breakers.
But like it kind of fell apart. It was like a whole thing.
Yeah.
He's got like a cigarette. He's like, every time I think I'm out,
They drive me
pull
right
me back in.
Yeah, and you know enough.
I gotta get away from my boyfriend every now and then. It's so annoying.
His the label on his shirt, like kind of label, puts him at a fairly high rank in the Risk Breakers locally, but probably like second or third in command of the local Risk Breaker unit.
I pull the ledger out and like, you'll find this of interest. It details how the dockmaster was leading smuggling efforts. And there's a ship up there that is bringing bad goods in now.
Well, we'll make sure that gets shut down. It looks like the dockmaster was trying to play both sides against the middle. He was working with the Ring of Blades and the Rogues.
That worked out for him really well.
Are you sure that one of them did?
Lost, eh?
Karag's gonna try to like make himself look small and kind of like
Well,
push a broom across the
I think
floor.
Philip went off by himself. I think Philip went off by himself.
Yeah, I dipped out.
Yeah,
Y'all were still
so
with
you're still safe.
Yeah.
You haven't run into to Bolton, and he says, well, if anything does pop up, I suppose you'll be doing a full report for your employer.
Absolutely.
No, I suppose
Would you
I
like
could
a copy?
Absolutely. Good. Well, if anything else pops up, but everything else looked completely legitimate on the other ships.
We haven't looked into that so much. We were more investigating the murder.
Well, surprise, he's dead. So perhaps the real investigation is why, right?
Yep. That's what we're still working on.
Well, I'll leave it in your
I'm
capable
Philip
hands.
J. Ribbit. At your service.
Bolton Coon, your boss would know me. But let me know if you need anything, of course. I'm going to take the body and do a little investigation with that. But you
Good
can
word
reach
with
me.
my boss would be nice.
Yeah, he kind of slides a card over to you, and it says, Bolton Coon, and he just says, I kind of need to get this taken care of. I'm leaving town tomorrow, so anything that you can get off the plate easier, quicker would be much appreciated.
Okay.
And he kind of turns and walks and follows the body down. Like you see, he had come up with the cleric investigators who were taking the body to go do the equivalent of a fantasy and autopsy, and he was coming with them, and so he's left in that case. But sees a governmental person in command and thinks it's fine. Like it is what it is.
I dip back in.
Is
I bought us time.
that Bolton Coon of the Risk Breakers?
Yep, that's what his card says. And that's what he said. Twice.
Yeah, and Quinn, you would know who he is. You've done enough work dealing with the risk breakers that you would recognize him.
I know who he is.
You definitely know who he is, Carrick.
I was going to ask, did we notice Carrick being a little nervous?
I don't think there's a person among you, aside from maybe Philip, who wouldn't have noticed that Carrick immediately started acting a little shady.
I'm just gonna ask in sort of a low whisper, not keeping it from the rest of everyone, but just don't want anyone to overhear outside of our little gang. Like, Carrick, something you need to tell us? Why'd Bolton make you so nervous there, Frank?
Well, I don't like to admit to mistakes, but I really roughed up a set of his boots about a year and a half ago, and he has not let it go since.
Is that like metaphorical, or did you give him bad information? I'm like confused on.
You interpret that however you want to.
Well, I was gonna suggest maybe you wanted to stick with us for the rest of the day, just kind of help us smooth out some of the details. So you're gonna be comfortable rolling with us and these authority types being involved?
I think we'll be okay. I've worked with a couple of them in the past. It shouldn't be too big of an issue.
All right then. Well, we appreciate you doing the right thing for your country.
I'm doing this for me. What are you talking about?
I'm totally in this for promotion.
No comment.
Spoken like a true journalist. Well, let's check out the ship, people. Let's see what information we can gather.
Okay. So you guys, you go to the docks. There's the ship on the lower level, and then the 4 ships on the upper level. As you finish your conversation, you head up to the 2nd level where those 4 ships are docked. And already there are 5 watchmen that are standing outside of one of the ships off to the side. And there are 2 individuals kind of being walked across the gangplank in cuffs. And they look they look like what you would imagine a bandit or a black market dealer looks like. They were probably just left on the ship to guard it overnight, and didn't expect their spot to be blown up. And there it is. But there's the other 4 ships present as well, if you'd like to investigate any of the vessels that are up here.
Absolutely. But we're investigating the vessels?
There's 4 ships up here. You said you wanted to look at the ships. There's 4 ships on the upper level, 3 of which were marked as being present, like in the ledger or in the manifest. And one is currently like, there's 5 watchmen guard that are now standing in front of it because you've reported it as being a black market.
Yeah, that's the one I would be interested in sussing out. The Ring of Blades ship, apparently.
You don't know it's Ring of Blades. Well, you read it was Ring of Blades.
You read Ring of Blades, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not telling anyone until I get paid.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, Quinn, there's an element of it that's like, if this guy was lying about, if he was lying in the manifest for one ship, there's a niggling question in the back of your mind that is he lying about the manifest for any of these ships, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So we copied what he put on his ledger.
Yeah, you have the ledger for all 4, like all 5 of the ships that are docked, because but you don't know it was on the Ring of Blade ship, but that was in the secret ledger, and then you have the 4 other ships that were in the ledger.
Is there anything else that stands out? Like, I guess like you're suggesting if he may have been cooking the books for other ships, like are these other ships looking like they're on the up and up compared to what he's gotten documented?
Well, so you'd have to go look at the holds of the ships to check, right? Because you know what's supposed to be in each of these ships.
Yeah. All right. So let's start our investigation.
Okay. It doesn't take very long for you to kind of work through all the ships before you catch something that does seem to be a little off. The ship from Eldritch Peak, which was like marked in the manifest as containing a hold full of ore. When you come aboard the ship, there's no one present on the ship. It's docked overnight. The crew has gone off to do what crew do after a ship is at the docks. And you go to investigate, and you walk down into the hold, and you find ore. You find about a quarter of the hold is filled with ore. The rest of the hold is empty.
Looks like our choices were ore or nothing at all.
But the manifest said that the hold was full, and it wasn't being unloaded until the morning.
Go look for the captain's log.
Okay, so you go upstairs, and let's see. Yep. So you go to the captain's deck, and this is a very, very simple ship. It has main deck, the holds underneath the main deck, and then it has like a back, like very small kind of area where the captain would be able to house his materials, and the wheels back there and everything. You go and you kind of open the door to the captain's logs and or the captain's quarters. And there is an individual kind of standing in the room when you open the door, who you didn't see when you came on the ship. He's like, I think it might be better if you walk the other way.
We don't see who it is? Or?
No, it's kind of like standing in the shadows of the captain's log. It's like Phillips opened the door, and this is like kind of a warning that's called from this figure.
We don't mean any harm. We're just investigating, making sure everything is safe here. And I want to use my community skill advantage on negotiating with criminals
Okay.
if possible. We just looking to take a quick look around and fill in some gaps about the dead body that's on the dock here. We're not here to jam you up at all, okay?
Yeah, the dead body's not in this room, so you can go the other way.
Well, to be honest, what's in this room will help us sort of rule out this ship. There are plenty of authorities around. We don't want to make it difficult for you. We could say we never saw you on the ship. Just let us do our thing and we'll leave.
He kind of looks at you. He says, it wouldn't matter if they knew I was on the ship or not. As the captain of this ship, I'm allowed to be here.
Oh, Captain, that's great. That's great. Do you know that we're not here to make things difficult for you? Who am I speaking with, first of all?
Also, Josh, as he's talking, I'm gonna start like skirting around the room closer.
Like to get...
I look like I'm trying to look like I'm just like casually walking around and looking at stuff, but I'm definitely moving towards.
I will let you make the choice of whether this is a presence check or a finesse check, whether you're trying to hide or whether you're trying to deceive, but I'll let you make the choice.
I would like to make a
I'll
presence
do
check
presence.
to grab a broom and start cleaning the hole.
Oh, so you guys are up in the captain. Like if you followed Philip and Quinn and Ramble, you're up in the cockpit.
Oh.
Like now, Kara, you could have stayed down in the hold if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, then I'll let you, while you're in the hold, you can make a instinct check to like perceive what's going on in the hold. Mm-hmm.
I got a 15 and I rolled 12 on my hope die.
Oh, nice. So you get a hope, and good. And he is distracted by Quinn and Philip, and it's not a large chamber, but it is enough that like you've kind of edged off to the side. Like you can't get behind him. He's placed himself where he's looking out. Now, Quinn and Philip, you know,
I've got my hands in my pockets.
Yeah. He has.
This sounds like a television show, doesn't it? Quinn and Philip.
Yeah, Quinn and Philip.
on noon.
Quinn and Philip, you guys have dealt with enough people. This man has full view of the entire ship. He watched you all board the ship. He watched you go down into the hold. He watched you come up and then come to him and never once tried to stop you from doing any of that. And here he's telling you, like, your best bet would be to turn around and go the other way.
So we aren't looking for any trouble.
And there's no trouble here to be had if you turn and leave.
Slowly backing up.
I look over my shoulder and Philip's like
5 feet
5
behind.
feet further back.
You guys like see like as he's saying this, I'm starting to like grin.
Uh-oh. I guess at this point I'm just buying my time to see what moves Ramble might have up their sleeve.
You look to me. Are you like looking at me?
So at the out of the corner of my, I was kind of trying to keep an eye on you just to see what you might be cooking up, but
There's a moment where he kind of
really,
just like
I can negotiate this captain down, and that's
What is he saying?
he goes to tell you again to leave, and he kind of pulls his coat to the side, and you see a pistol on his hip.
okay. I'm not trying to intrude here, but I'm gonna be honest. Eventually, the authorities are gonna search this ship.
And what will they
give them the all clear first?
Yeah, and he just says, and they won't find anything when they do. And I would hate for your body to be one of those things.
Josh, can
Well,
I
that
make
doesn't make sense.
Can I make eye contact with Carrig?
Yeah.
I make eye contact with Carrig and I mouth.
Oh no,
the
Carrig
word-
is downstairs. Yep.
Oh, I make eye contact with Philip and I mouth the word distraction to him.
Okay. Hang on. And I will go up and I will start grabbing like I'm pulling Quinn away, but I am doing it extremely ineffectively. Like just come on, buddy. We don't need to be here. The nice man with the gun wants us to leave, and we should leave.
I roll up on this man.
Okay.
I roll up on this man.
So we're going to do something because it'll determine whether you get advantage, Ramble. Philip, make a presence check. If you'd like to spend a hope to do cute and adorable, to add that +2, you can.
Okay. I will do so. 13 with fear.
Oh, no. Okay, I get a fear. All right. So the consequence of fear is that as you go to do that, he interprets your movement as you coming in to be threatening, Philip, rather than avoidant. And there is a moment where he pulls out the pistol, aims it at you, and he cocks it back, and he is ready to shoot. Ramble, you can make an attack roll against this guy. You do not have advantage on the roll.
Okay.
But he is getting ready to shoot Philip or Quinn.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna. Y'all.
He asked you to leave 3 times.
You guys see when I take my hands out, they have brass knuckles on them. And I'm rolling with strength, I'd say.
So your web, let me pull up your sheet. So your brass knuckles, you roll with strength. So it's a strength check. You add +2 to the roll.
Okay. And then do I add +2 as well for my knuckles?
No. So it's just +2.
Okay, it's just +2.
Strength.
It's just whatever my strength modifier is. Mm-hmm. Okay. I got 18 and then with fear.
18 with fear. Okay, that's fine. So you absolutely make a connection. So the brass knuckle, that's a 1d4 +2 damage.
That is 3 damage.
3 damage. 3 points of damage. That is his major damage threshold. So he takes 2 points of damage.
Dang.
Cool.
You see this tiny cat just fucking clocks this man.
Which he, like, the shock of getting punched, he kind of pulls back. I'm going to roll. Let's see. That is only an 8 on the die, which doesn't beat anyone's evasion, as like this cat jumps on the individual and they kind of pull back, and you hear as the blunderbuss basically fires, blowing a hole through the roof of the captain's quarters. Carrig, down in the hall, whatever you rolled, we'll come to in a second because you would have had time to explore. But you do hear a sound of a gunshot up above on the second, above the hold of the vessel. However, because you roll with fear, it comes to me. He's immediately going to turn and he's going to try to whip you across the face with the gun. That is a 20 on the die. Against you, Ramble. So you take 4 points of damage as he kind of just pistol whips you across the face.
Oh no.
Okay,
Can we jump in and
so for you, well, hold on. So for you, it's a minor damage.
Sure.
And so you would mark 1. So I did it for you there.
Thank you. I see it now under HP.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it goes back to you all. So Quinn, Philip, Ramble, any of you can go at any point in combat.
Tongue attack.
Okay, go ahead, Philip. Yep.
And when he hits me, I'm kind of laughing.
Very threatening.
Yeah, just like seems very excited to be in a fight.
8 with hope, so I miss, I assume.
Yeah, Philip, with your quill. you
no, this was a tongue attack.
Oh, the tongue attack. Yeah, no, that misses. Yeah, but you gain the hope for the attack.
And I get a stress.
So you all watch as Philip's tongue flies out, and like the captain just kind of like leans to the side as the tongue like hits the wall behind and then retracts.
I want to try to hit him with my dagger.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh my gosh. A 5 with fear.
A 5 with fear. Okay, so I gained into fear, and that comes back to me. He takes.
Whatever. I don't.
Yeah, he kind of jumps back as the tongue flies past, and he quickly kicks out the load and jams another payload into the blunderbuss and clicks it up, points it at you, Quinn, and fires.
Oof.
Jesus.
So fast.
That is a 12, and your evasion is a 10.
Damn.
Oh, I see.
I
Yeah.
don't remember you.
Ronnie. Yeah. Okay, that is 10 points of damage to you.
Is it a major?
That's a major damage. So you mark 2 HP. And you also take a stress. Getting shot in the shoulder is kind of stressful. As he kind of pulls back, and he kind of shoots again, and he says he stops for a second, like cradling his face where he got hit. He's just like, all I said for you to do was leave. We can do this the hard way if you'd like to continue. And I'm going to spend a fear, and he loads the gun again. And he kind of lifts it up, and he's stepped back enough that he could easily hit Philip Quinn or Ramble, but he's stepped back and he's passing the show back on to you all.
Oof.
Are we level 0 or level 1?
You're level 0.
Okay.
Okay.
Philip didn't start the fight, but he's going to finish it.
Yep.
So
I
he
love
just
the hard way.
Oh no, you don't. And I do another tongue attack.
Okay. Are you aiming at him?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack.
That is a 16 with hope.
With hope. Okay. You gain a hope, and it hits. And the tongue, like, what is it like? What is and a successful tongue attack look like as Philip fires it off at this guy?
Basically, I poke him in the eye.
Okay, good. So you kind of like your tongue flies out like this wet, like right into his eye. He kind of reaches up and holds it, and the gun's kind of like pointed up into the air. Anybody else acting?
And that's 5 damage.
5 points damage. Okay,
I'll roll up on him. I can make an agility check to scratch him and make him vulnerable.
Okay, go ahead.
Do that. I got 17 with hope.
Okay, you get a hope, and it doesn't do any damage, right? It just makes him vulnerable.
Yeah, it just makes him vulnerable.
Okay, cool. Yep. So the next attack against him has advantage.
Okay, I'm gonna attack with my dagger again.
Okay, so what advantage works like is you roll your d12, and you don't roll your d12 twice. You just roll your d12 once. You add a d6 to it.
So I roll both of them again, or?
Yep. You roll both your d12s
Okay.
as like your normal roll,
Okay.
and then you'll add a d6 to it.
Yay.
Come on now. Okay. It's a 16 on the dice.
Is it with hope or fear?
Oh, with hope.
Okay.
And then I add 6.
You add a d6.
Oh, a d6. Oh.
Mhm.
That's the one that looks like a cube. Plus 3. So it's 19?
19 with hope. So now, Quinn, you have a decision here, right? Your attack will end the fight. So you get to decide how you want this fight to end.
I don't want to kill a man for protecting his livelihood, right? But I do want to incapacitate him. So hopefully while he's like wounded in the eye and vulnerable, I can come in behind him or just like hit him with the handle of my blade, like in the back of the head, and knock him out, or at least render him like dazed enough to where he'll be subdued.
Okay. So after all of the flying of scratching claws and tongue, a bam on the back of his head, and the man kind of crumples and falls to the ground, his blunderbuss going off to the side.
Just the exact moment that I come around the corner and I go, oh my God, you killed him!
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
He's not dead, but damn it,
He's not dead yet.
I'll grab his gun, secure his gun.
Okay.
Make sure he can't run for it or lunge for it.
Are you keeping this, or are you just putting it somewhere out of reach?
I'll hold on to it. And
Okay, I'll add a gun to your inventory.
and use it.
Never know when you need a
weapon.
gun.
I wanted the gun. I punched him.
We just
You
wanted
did just fine without one.
I didn't. I got shot.
Yeah, you're definitely hurt.
How much damage did you take, Ronnie?
Two.
Yeah, that's not good.
I don't. What? 6? I'm not dead, but I'm definitely limping. Holding my shoulder.
I put my brass knuckles back in my pocket. I carry shows them.
Well, in certain ways, getting Quinn shot was a way to distract him.
I wasn't with you.
I feel quite distracted here. Listen, buddy, we just want to talk.
He's
Figure out
knocked
what
out
happened.
on the ground.
Oh, I thought he was just like,
No, he's
I
knocked
was-
out.
oh, let's search his body, search the room.
Okay. It is easy enough to search. It's a small It's a small room. You find his manifest in his chart log. It does say that he's flying from Eldritch Peak. However, the main manifest so what he reported to the dockmaster was that this was a direct flight from Eldritch Peak. The ship, however, made a stop in Highwall before it came here, which was not in the ledger that he handed to the quartermaster. It does, however, still claim that the only thing present in the ship is a hold full of ore, which, Philip, having dealt with plenty of people who try to do black market dealings or hide their work, like this is a very common protection plan that captains would do. Like, the captain does not know what is in the hold of his ship. He knows that it's not ore, but as long as he can tell people it's ore, and that's what's written in his manifest in his ledger, then it was ore the whole time, right? This is a way for the captain, like he knows he's doing something shady, but it's protecting him, right? Because he's just a contractor. Mm-hmm.
What did I find in the hold, Josh?
Right. So it takes us to that, Carrig. So as you were exploring the hold, there's ore here, right? It's standard, like gold or silver or iron ore. But what you do discover is two things. The rest of this hold was filled at one point with something. And recently enough, there's dust and, like the way holds are, this hasn't been swept. But you can see the outlines of where things used to be in this hold. The dust from the ore rising up during transit had settled on the top of those things and not on the floor. And so there's the essence of them still etched into the flooring. And what you can account for is probably 25 barrels of something. Not huge barrels, probably like, like if not if Carrig, but if a larger person were to take their arms and kind of make a circle out of them, probably barrels about that size, 25 of them. And you find it very odd that this whole hold could have held ore, and then these 25 barrels would not have taken up as much space, but it's like that they were kept very safely and contained off to the side.
I will let the group know this.
That's all that you discovered in the space, is that like at one point there were barrels here and they've been moved. Like you can see the scuff marks in the dust of them being moved. So since this ship docked and the barrel and now 25 barrels of something were removed from this ship.
So it happened here, not Hightower.
Yes. And Philip, if Kira tells you that, you can probably piece together is that whatever the stopover at his high tower was picking up whatever those barrels were.
Yeah. And Rob is flashing back to Yorian's scheme.
All right, back to us.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you guys are all back together now, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me go through his pockets.
Yeah, you find. You find his wallet has like script. He has a coin purse. There's a picture in his wallet of a beautiful elven woman or half elven woman. This is just a captain of a ship who probably was doing shady things to make additional funds, but wasn't, from Ramble's good opinion, he was a carrier and not a planner.
Sure. Still gonna better punch him now. Oh well. He threatened us.
What I'm wondering is, the dockmaster knew about the ship smuggling, but he had this as just a normal ship. So maybe somebody killed him so that he wouldn't see what was clandestine on the ship?
Philip, as you're saying that, this is the closest ship to where the dockmaster was killed.
So maybe wait for the captain to wake up and just find out when it was unloaded.
I'm going to go through the captain's papers.
Sure. So you are kind of going through the captain's papers, and let me just double check numbers here. Yes, you have a slightly higher in this for the Carrig. As you're going through, like you're just kind of rifling, and something falls out and lands on the ground, and you go to kind of bend down to pick it up, and it is a advertisement, like a little business card advertisement. It says Club, like for Club Eurydice, but on the back it just says in case there are problems.
Well, everyone, it looks like we've been called up. We're the problem.
This might
Okay.
be an issue here.
Sounds like we have the card from Club Eurydice. We have the debt from Club Eurydice. We have the ship from Club Eurydice.
What did the card say?
The card says we need to go to Club Eurydice.
Oh, all right. Okay. Okay. Sounds like could be a dangerous endeavor.
Maybe on the way I could get patched up a bit, and don't want to go in bloody.
Yeah, it looks like you scuffed your shoe up pretty good when he shot you.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern there, Carrie. That's
may need to hire some extra muscle to make sure we're right.
Oh yeah,
That might not be a bad idea.
They got deep
All right.
pockets over there at the Elven Breeder.
Breeder.
I thought he said burrito.
It's not the Elven Breeder.
I'm sorry. What?
And the fanfiction.net are we doing over there? I love it.
I didn't realize we went over to AO3 all of a sudden.
Oh, no. An archive of our own.
Yeah, I can consider it handled.
All right.
I like that plan, then. Eh?
Yeah. So from here, where are you all heading?
I
Well-
think okay, go ahead.
Were you saying that we should pick up some muscle to help us out, or that we needed to look out for muscle?
No, we're
I
gonna
got-
hire some muscle.
It's Jace's character.
Yeah,
Oh no, I know that.
Jace's character. That's
I-
what
I
my
know that.
intention was. Yes.
Yeah, no. I was with you.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Philip asking, not
Oh, good,
Rob.
yeah.
I just didn't. I should have been
Yeah.
doing the voice.
Oh, no.
Figured I was like, Rob. I thought we were on the
No.
same page, Rob.
No,
I-
that should have been in Philip's voice.
Oh,
No,
Philip.
I'll handle it. I'll
Okay.
contact them.
right.
Anywhere we should check out before then?
I am gonna go through the papers, see if there's anything else I can find.
No, it seems like he is very, like, this is a captain who wants to contain as much of his anonymity as possible. Like, part of what you could probably figure out, Carrick, is that he let you guys come on and search the hold, because if you came to him and said, hey, there's something weird going on with the hold, he would say, look, all I was told that I'm shipping is this, right? He keeps very clean books, very honest, like, you know, this is what the person who hired me, they said that they were loading. I just fly the ship, right? He's trying to go with some kind of like plausible deniability.
And look where that got him.
Yeah, he's unconscious on the ground. Yeah. And like letting you all leave, like he just wanted you all to leave, right? Yeah.
Yeah, prop him up in the chair.
Yeah.
Make him comfortable. Yeah.
Put some sunglasses on him.
Lord. Okay, cousin Bernie.
Weekend at
Weekend at
Bernie's.
Bernie's, yeah. Right. But yeah, other than the business card that threw out, which you can probably imagine was handed to him by whoever was running that had hired him to carry whatever it was. All right. So from here, as you guys kind of are gathering your nerves, anything else in the vicinity that you want to explore, or are you ready to chuck on elsewhere?
Yeah, do they have like
We're
a
gonna
med
move
kit
on,
on the?
find our muscle, and
You
move
can
on
take a short rest. And it would probably been long enough at this point. And in the event of a short rest, you can do two things. You can either clear stress or hit points or both, or you can repair armor. Right? You can do
Yay.
I think it's any one of those things during a short rest.
Or repair what?
And can you clear, how many stress can you clear? One?
It's 1d4 plus your level, so it'd just be 1d4 stress.
Okay.
And you can clear 1d4 hit points, Quinn.
So I cleared one stress.
Perfect.
So I still have one stress.
It's been a stressful night.
We cleared 1 HP.
Perfect. All right. And as you guys kind of head out, painting a little picture of your travels, because we don't need to do all of the travels. As you are traveling, the first thing you notice is like you're walking down the hall, the alleyway, leaving the Iron Mount. You see graffiti on the walls, which is not rare to see graffiti in any part of this area of Anorvere. You see like there's a one that says a patrician in mercantile clothing, which Ramble, you understand, is a very common call that like they push the patricians out of power in government, but they just gave them more power by allowing them to become these like mercantile families. So they don't have any political power. They just have the power of money, right?
Yes.
Like
Philip's from a noble family.
yeah. You see, as you keep walking, there's a couple more graffiti marks. You see public funding for what? And it's the symbol of the Church of the Nine with like a giant cross like mark through it. Above that, it says fuck Algier. Further down, as you guys are kind of leaving the more shady area thing, you see somebody else has spray paid Corday sold out. Which, Philip, you know that's a call to the boss of your boss of your boss, Iris Corday, the current leader of the Hall of Voices. And then you guys finally get out of the kind of the shady dock area of the Iron Mount, and you see you're first of a series of posters, and these posters are like lining the entire walkway, leaving the Iron Mount region, going into the vicinity that kind of passes between here and the theater district where Club Eurydice is located. And you see just poster after poster after poster of a woman with almond shaped eyes, like palish tan skin, her hair, like severe hair kind of pulled back in a bun. Like she's doing like the very like that image that politicians do where their head is up and they're looking above, but they're not looking at the camera. And Philip, you know that this is Simona Ling. Quinn, you would also recognize Simona Ling as well. And this is, there's a large over the poster. It says, "Let the Shadow Minister rise." And below Simona Ling, there's just like dozens and dozens of like fists raised in like a shadowy fists raised. It's like this common symbol that is seen around Simona of like, let the power of the people rise in the place of like all of this other stuff that's here. And at the bottom, it's advertising a speech at the edges of Memorial Park. And like that speech is coming up soon. It's a sunrise speech. And you guys will be walking past Memorial Park on your way through the vicinity. So through part of your way through your journey, you eventually get to a point where you see like 500, 600, maybe approaching 1,000 people gathered in an area kind of like to the point where they're spilling over into the road, and you guys are just walking by and you see like this speech is kind of building up, and there's a large platform that's been built here at the edge of the park, and you just see like Simona Ling's name is on a banner over the platform, and people are sitting here waiting for this person to come and give a speech as you guys are getting ready to walk past. Do you keep traveling, or do you stop to hear what is happening here?
Hey, who wants to hear a speech?
I've already walked past.
Oh.
And I kind of stopped because you guys were stopping.
Yeah, I kind of want to listen in and see what the deal is.
I want to listen to a speech.
I'm kind of with you on this one.
Oh, they can have their little speech. Let's go for a walk.
Okay.
Come on, Philip.
We'll go get the muscle.
Yeah, we'll go
You
get
listen
the
to the
muscle.
speech.
Okay.
Yeah, let me show you my place for the muscle.
All right. So Philip and Ramble, you kind of go off to find Muscle. As Quinn and Carrig, you are standing at the edge of this crowd and looking around, like you see like the crowd is a lot of working class people. Like they're stopped here on their way to their jobs, which probably like perfect planning on Simona Ling's part, because she's getting all of the people who are coming off of night shift. She's getting all the people who are getting ready to go on to day shift. And she's right smack in the middle. She's right smack in the middle between the theater district and the Iron Mount. So like all of the service workers and like bartenders and actors and the people who are already like in her field of defiant, political machinations are leaving the theater district to head home at the same point that these workers from the Iron Mount are leaving or being replaced. And so there's this interesting like smattering of youth intellectual politicking here, as well as like working class politicking happening here. And Quinn, you notice like like two individuals step up onto the platform, and they are guards for Simona Ling. One of them, kind of scanning the crowd briefly, is like this tall, kind of purplish blue-skinned tiefling, and the other one is a half-elven man. And then a roar rises up from 1,000 people here as Simona Ling takes the stage. And she is, for everything in her picture, she looks like a school marm, but she immediately comes out and she is like hyper engaging. Like you can tell that the entire crowd is buried into her thinking. And she kind of reaches out and grabs a wand from one of the two guards with her, and she touches it to her throat. And then suddenly her voice rises. She hands the wand back and she says, "Thank you all for coming out today. We put our trust in Iris Corday, one who said that she was here for the people that she would end the power of the church and the patricians over you. But has she done it? And you hear the crowd booing and cheering against that. And then she says, we here, the apostates, the second largest in the Hall of Voices, I, as your shadow minister, are fighting every day for the rights of you and you and you. And she's pointing at workers and young theater goers and everyone. And she says, it is time that we end the payments to a church that serves dead gods. And there's a kind of there's a little bit of some of the people in the crowd maybe aren't for that, but there's a larger rise from that. She says, when will the money that goes to the opulence of men like Horatio Algier go instead into your pockets and to yours to beautify our districts, to beautify our homes? Why do we build entire memorials to their broken temples? It is time that we honor those like the Deus Interfactorum who brought to heal a bygone era and instead raise a future to Anorvere. And she then points above her head, and you can tell like she's pointing at the Foresight, the massive ship above. And she says, with the power of money, they're able to build things like this. The mercantile have their hands all over this. Where are they flying it to? What's the purpose? As your shadow minister, it is my role and my responsibility to find out why the government is building such weapons of war, regardless of what they say that it's being built for. Quinn, you notice it. Carrig probably too, you. As this speech is going, kind of near where you are, you see an individual kind of walk up and listening. He's cheering along with everything else. The moment she starts talking about the Foresight, he reaches into his cloak and pulls out, and a gun is there and right next to you. And he fires, and a bullet flying through the air. You see the tiefling next to Simona Ling kind of pull forward, and this magical shield appears in front of him, and the bullet hits and ricochets off. And that individual that just tried to shoot Simona Ling is tearing off down an alleyway to your right. With Philip and Rambo off trying to find Muscle, and Quinn and Carrig just witnessing an assassination attempt against Simona Ling, that's where we will pick up next week.
Oh,
amazing. Oh, it's so good. Great job, Josh.
Y'all didn't trust Simona when she walked off that ship, but Simona...
No, I was about to say,
I love Simona.
Look, I've turned the corner on Simona. I didn't know what she was about, Josh. She was on the evil ship. It scared me.
She's on the evil ship, but she's there because she is the shadow minister, and she is trying to. She's doing like
to make sure they don't do bad things
that
with the
thing
evil
that
ship.
congressmen do, and they're like, we're going to go on an exploratory mission to see what's happening.
The Jonestown.
Yeah. I was about to say, Congressman Ryan, we're gonna go we're gonna go see what's going on down in French Guyana.
Yeah. But
the way you talk about the ship, do you remember what the Cygnus looks like from the black hole?
Yeah.
That's the ship I picture.
Oh, it kind of is, yeah.
This is so fun.
It's
guys.
a little. It's
great
kind of
characters.
It's probably more like svelte than that. Yeah, absolutely. See, it's probably more svelte than that, but it is definitely like that shape for sure.
Well, just that